Hi everyone, today we're going to be sharing with you how RSG recommends moving semen from tank to tank. First and foremost, when handling anything frozen in liquid nitrogen, we recommend wearing gloves to reduce the risk of a nitrogen burn. On my left-hand side here is a regular storage tank, and then on the right is a vapor shipper tank that we use to send genetics all across the country. Let's say that you have a client who wants to purchase 2 units of semen from one of your sires. To safely get the client those units, you're going to need to split them out in liquid nitrogen. While it would be easy to just pull those 2 straws from the cane with your hand and put them in your client's tank, we need to remember that changes in temperature can have a very negative effect on semen quality. Liquid nitrogen maintains the temperature of the frozen genetics at around negative 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Your hands and even the air are a lot warmer than that. So let's take a look at the safest way to get that semen from your tank to your client. The biggest thing to consider when you're moving frozen semen is that you want to remember to reduce the amount of airtime as much as possible, ideally to less than 3 seconds. Sheep and goat semen just can't handle the stress of being out in the air like cattle semen can. So do your best to limit the amount of time that it's out of the tank. So we're going to take the lid off of our tank here and pull up slightly on the canister. You want to keep the canister below the frost line in the tank. The graphic on your screen shows the different temperature zones of a liquid nitrogen tank. Notice how drastically the temperature changes as we travel up the neck of the tank, especially above the frost line. The most stable environment for the frozen genetics is submerged in liquid nitrogen. So also be sure to keep an eye on the nitrogen level in your storage tanks and fill them when the level no longer covers the canes. Now we're going to locate the semen that we need in our canister. So we're going to put our glove on, take the foam out, and we're going to move the canister that we need to the middle of our tank. Take a look inside of our canister, being sure to keep the canister below the frost line in the tank. Once we've identified what it is that we're looking for in the canister, we're ready to move our semen. You want to make sure that you can pull up easily on both canisters, because once you've placed your semen, you're going to want to put the canister back down in the nitrogen as soon as possible. You're also going to want to remember to grab the cane by just the tab, or the top portion of it. You don't want to touch the straws or the goblets with your hand, as your hand is a lot warmer than the frozen environment that the genetics have been kept in. We're going to lift up our canister, grab the tab, and transfer our semen from our holding tank into our shipper tank. Be sure to put the canister that you're pulling from back down in the nitrogen as quickly as possible. We don't want to expose the semen that's left in the canister to the air for any longer than it needs to be. Now that we've pulled our semen, let's take a look at how we recommend splitting it if you just need to move a couple straws. So this is the bottom of a styrofoam container, and we've darkened the bottom with some Sharpie so that it's easier to see the straws down in the cane. We've also filled this up with liquid nitrogen. We want to keep our cane submerged at all times while we're splitting our semen. And we also want to remember to reduce the air time that the semen is out of the liquid nitrogen to no more than 3 seconds. So we're going to put our glove on and we're going to pull the semen that we're splitting and put it right directly into the liquid nitrogen. So once again, no longer than 3 seconds, that semen was out of the liquid nitrogen. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to pull out the 2 straws that our clients ordered. So these are a pair of forceps. You could also use some long tweezers if you can't find these. So we're just going to hold on to the cane and we're going to pull our 2 straws out. So there's 1 and 2. And you'll notice that the straws are at an orientation with a cotton plug up. This makes it so that the writing is facing the right way for us to read it. It's just a lot easier to see what's actually printed on your straws. So then all we're going to do is we're going to transfer these 2 straws into the bottom goblet of our receiving cane. We want to fill the bottom first because we have this top goblet on here. If the tank were to tip over or anything, this top goblet up here would protect these straws from falling out. I'm going to pick them up, slide 1, slide 2, noticing that the straws and the canes are still submerged under the liquid nitrogen. Now that your order is split, you're ready to hand it off to your client. So you're going to use your forceps to pick up the cane that's under the liquid nitrogen, grab only the tab, and transfer it back into your receiving tank. Noting that, again, the air time was less than 3 seconds for that semen. And that's all there is to it. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call or visit us online anytime at reprospecialty.com.